You might be wondering, viewer, why you are seeing the Easy Mode logo on the top of the screen in this video. And the simple answer to that is that I beat this boss on Easy Mode. I'll let you know why, because this is the point in the game where I had enough of this game's shit. If I wasn't playing this game for this video series, this is the point where I would have shelved it forever out of sheer anger. The reason why I dropped the difficulty was because of my first attempt to beat the Kamek brothers. They have pretty good attacks at killing adversaries. One attack is that they create a magical jump rope that the brothers will have to jump over, and this attack has the possibility of hitting more than 5 times, so you have to keep your eye on for the timing. The problem is that the first and second pass have bad perspective, so it gets harder to tell the timings of the attack for Mario, Luigi, and Mario. Then there is the portal jumping, where Kamek will tackle you through portals to get high damage, and possibly a trip ailment, which just makes things a lot worse. This one shouldn't have been too bad, it's just that in the attack there's so much visual noise that it gets hard to see the all-important colors through the blackness. Then there's the final attack that got me, the background attack, where Paper Kamek will create a moving barrier of himself and a bunch of his clones to protect Kamek, generating a giant magic missile. You need to knock down the barrier and hit Kamek twice in the beginning to stop the attack, and at that point it's pretty easy. What gets harder is when the Kamek duo hit their rage mode and will increase the number of hits and the speed of their jump rope attack. They will increase the speed in their portals and sometimes double back for some extra hits, and of course each attack the Kameks dish out is heavily damaging for at least half health bar damage as some sort of rule, meaning that a lot of this fight will be spent on healing rather than dealing damage, which is just, you know, great combat design, it really is. But the real kicker was when I faced off with their almost dead background attack, where Paper Kamek is moving at a ludicrous speed, and Kamek requires 4 hits to be done with. Of course, looking at the video, that makes it really look like it's taking a chance on dumb luck. There's no skill to getting that move done, because you can't predict where the Paper Kamek holes are going to be, and where regular Kamek is going to move in order to put 2 and 2 together and get the damage in, so you can already guess what happened. Kamek's heavily damaging attack KO'd my entire team, some of which were at 80% health, and the entire 20-minute attempt was cast aside in the blink of an eye due to a dumb luck-based minigame, and after dealing with the higher difficulty bullcrap, where every attack I failed in every fight up until this point was landing me with heavy damage and I was burning through resources like crazy, I decided that I didn't care anymore. And the Kameks didn't deserve a fucking fair fight, because they certainly weren't gonna give me any slack unless I was literally a perfect no-hit runner. So I dropped the difficulty. The Kameks were only dishing out half damage after that, my characters were now hitting for at least double their original damage, and the Kameks attacks were slower and less numerous. And I don't feel guilty for it, because I don't give a shit anymore. At this point, the game can kiss my ass, because it is literally demanding perfection. And if you can't give it, they'll just be constantly taking away all your health items and leaving you vulnerable to all their attacks. and that means you're always on the back foot of every fight you're in, and you'll eventually run into the snowball effect of bullshit, where just everything in the boss fight is against you, and that's not fun. If you want to tell me to get good, you pussy, fine. But you will still be wrong, and here's why. At least in Dark Souls, when you come up against a hard fight, it doesn't feel like you're running face first into bricks. You start learning attack patterns, you start seeing the opportunities, and most importantly, you start seeing the damage you're dishing during the fight go up, and that gives you some hope that you'll put in enough effort, you'll get through it. In Dark Souls, the game doesn't take away 70% of your health off of one failed dodge, is another thing to remember. So yeah, viewer, the Kamek duo boss fight is what broke me in playing Mario and Luigi Paper Jam. I don't even remember Dream Team being this comically terrible, and the fact that I was starting to get calculated soul flashbacks at this close to the end of the game was not a good sign of the game's continuing quality. Fuck the Kamek duo, and I hope they rot in the child-friendly version of whatever hell is called.